All right, we are now live.
Live on Instagram, live on Facebook, live on every platform that we have access to here, alive to and well to serve you in your deepest needs. Here we go. We're ready to go. Ready to do this.
Alrighty, moving on to a new subject matter. This is exciting. Yes. All right, so we're going to press record in 3, 2, 1.
Leaders and healers from around the globe, from around the universe. Welcome to the Power, Purpose, and Passion podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Cheam, welcoming you live at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know we have committed to doing it every day from 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but a few personal challenges in my life have left us the inability to do it at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we will get on the schedule soon enough, and we'll get you live each day, Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. for about 15, 20, 25 minutes with short motivation, short inspirations. This is a show where we help you claim your power, clarify your purpose, and cultivate your highest, deepest, and widest passions. So ultimately, you can show up as the better and best version of yourself, continue on to upgrade and update the better version of yourself. So ultimately, you can serve the people around you, the people you love the most, with greater depth, with greater precision, and you can help them be inspired and give them permission to be the best version of themselves. So thank you for joining us today. And we are excited because, we finished off last week the 9 steps to improving your relationships. We capped it off with a bonus session on how to love yourself, reviewing all the 9 steps. And we're on a new project this week, and we're going to cover 5 of the top 5 things, or even just 5 of the primary things that keep people from being the best version of themselves. Because it's good to know the strategies and tools and how to be the best version of yourself. But what are the very things that are preventing you from being the best version of yourself? From showing up strong and courageous, showing up with mental focus, with discipline and determination. Why is it that we indulge in these behaviors, these things that prevent us from actually moving forward? I mean, I'm sure, like you, I've had the habit or the experience of taking 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and you're feeling like you're a hamster on a wheel. So we're going to kind of talk through today and for the rest of the week about 5 primary obstacles that people go through. I go through it. Everyone goes through it. And we're going to talk today first about the number one thing, probably that most people, I'd say all people, have in commonality, is that of fear. So thank you for joining us on this topic called fear with my buddy Cam. Thank you for joining us, Cam. How you doing? You're in a completely different room. It looks like you can literally be in Hawaii somewhere, for all I know. What's going on, man?
Not too much. I am all over the place. All last week, I was upstairs in the dining room. It's nice lighting. I just got done cleaning up my room, so I decided I have a desk area now, so this might be the permanent spot. We don't know, probably not. I'm doing really well though. After a weekend of a lot of reflection, especially over the whole relationship thing, like that was just getting to know how to be as effective as possible with other people.
Yes.
I really needed that. I think we all do. And if those of you who are interested in the show have not gone back and checked those 9 episodes out, highly suggest it. It was an invaluable course for sure. So today we're going to talk about fear, which is something that, I don't care who you are, you're a human being. Yeah. And we all know fear. So this is going to be really interesting. Dive right in.
Okay, so first off, I want to give a shout out to Tori Durham, who's on our Facebook page right now. She just gave me some unfortunate news about one of her friends, and I want to give a shout out to her. Prayers and thoughts and love vibrations to you and your family, your friends that's in the hospital. So I hope that's okay that I gave that shout out to you. Deep prayers, compassion. May the peace of the love of God be with you and your friend here today as I send you together with the rest of the people on this call, on this podcast, sending good vibes of healing and grace and compassion. So thank you for joining us. So fear, as they say, the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. My better version of that, more simplistic version of that, is forget everything and run. When you fear something, you just go, okay, I don't like that, so I'm going to run. But the problem with running away from your fears and not facing them, one of my original mentors used to say this to me: anything suppressed will be expressed in later days in uglier ways. Or anything denied or suppressed will be expressed in later days in uglier ways. So it is best, I encourage you to face it's in front of you, and face the fear that's in front of you, what you're most afraid of. Look at what you're afraid of the most. Look it in the face, because at the end of the day, fear is the resistance that you push up against in your life to strengthen your courage muscle. Is it possible that you can be courageous without actually feeling fear? Because people think, oh, courage is doing the right thing. No, no, no. Courage is doing the right thing in the presence of fear, despite the fear. Because, you know, doing the right thing when there's no fear, I mean, anyone can do that. But doing the right thing when everyone's making fun of you, or when you think everyone's going to judge you, or, you know, destroy your reputation, or look at you differently, that's a different level of courage. So think of fear as a dance partner that you dance with to strengthen your courage muscle, to strengthen your mental muscle, to strengthen your character muscle. Oftentimes I say to people, there are no problems, there are only opportunities. Opportunities to build your character, opportunities to grow, opportunities to level up, to power up, to upgrade who you are. So what it is you fear, and here's the other thing about fear when it comes to fear. Fear and excitement are basically the same coin. Fear is one face of the coin, and excitement is the other face of a coin. Let me kind of illustrate this with an example. If I were to say to you, hey, let's go skydiving. Some people might go, oh my gosh, that's too scary, I wouldn't go. But other people will go, that's scary, but it would be kind of exhilarating. Or let's go whitewater rafting. Or let's go do the edge walk at the CN Tower. Or let's go start a business from scratch and build it to $1 million sales in 1 year. That is scary and exciting at the same time. So really, are you scared or are you nervously excited? Even just reframing the word fear to something like excited or a little bit anxious or a little bit nervous. They used to ask of Bruce Springsteen when he used to go out on stage. And Bruce Springsteen, one of the greatest musicians in American history, the boss, right? They used to call him. And they used to ask him, oh, he used to get all like nervous and stuff. And he said, are you scared? Are you nervous? He's like, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to go out and give my best performance yet. When I go out on stage, yeah, I get nervous, I get fearful a little bit, but then I reframe it. I just change the tune a bit, raise the frequency, raise the vibration from fear to excitement. And I literally go to, you know what? By me conquering my fear, more and more people are going to be inspired. More and more people are going to be empowered. So conquering your fear, playing life not safe, but playing life full out, people benefit from you showing up at your best or better, not denying your fear, but admitting that you've got fear, admitting that it's tough, but stepping into what you're afraid of the most, stepping into what you're afraid of, stepping into what's hard and seeing it as an invitation to step up. You then give other people permission to do the same because you inspired them to do the same. By you playing small in life, because let's face it, people that are listening to this podcast, you don't listen to this podcast so you can go home and be the same person. Am I right? You don't go to a seminar like a Tony Robbins seminar or a Wayne Dyer seminar or Zig Ziglar, whatever these seminars that you usually go to if you've ever been to one. You don't go there so you can go home and be the same person. You go there to be inspired. You go to get wisdom, to be enriched. So then you can go back and go, all right, I've got a plethora of tools and strategies, ideas and insights that I can now apply to my life so I can better myself, better my business, better the world, better my health, whatever the goal is you are going after. So one of the ideas I suggest is this. For you listening to this, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Yes, you. If it is fear that is dictating your life, that will eventually lead you to play life small. I suffer because you play small. We all suffer because you play small. And that's what literally drives me each day. I'm like, every time I feel like I'm playing small, I'm like, oh man, people around me are suffering. And so then I reframe it and go, you know what? I'm not going to allow fear to dictate how I'm going to live my life. Now, let me flip it for a second. Fear can actually be an asset. So 99% of the time, if you're afraid and you make a decision based on fear, it's usually the wrong decision, as I heard once. However, if you're in a forest and a grizzly bear is protecting their cubs and fear sets in, that's probably the right decision. Either run as fast as you can or, you know, as they say, stand like a tree or whatever it might be and stay as calm as possible. But the point of the matter is 99% of the time, if you're making a decision based on fear, it's usually the wrong decision. So oftentimes I say to people, don't make it any important decision based on exhaustion and on fear. Walk away for 24 hours, consult some mentors or coaches or people that mean something to you, that you respect, that are smarter than you. Tell them about your challenges, and they will give you the right insights, the right knowledge to overcome that fear. But let me tell you something. Let me warn you. No one's going to live your life but you. No one's going to conquer your fear but you. I wish it was easy as asking your mentor to help you and the fear would go away. No, the fear does not go away. In fact, the closer you get towards your destiny, towards the objective you're going to get to, fear is going to get amplified. I remember reading the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and one of my favorite self-help books in history. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. But point is, he talked about when you are going to be tested most when you're just about to reach the top of the mountain, whether it be the health goal or a business goal or a money goal or a spiritual goal or a relationship goal or whatever it might be. You will be tested. I remember a story of a friend of mine, Mark Masri. He's a phenomenal singer. I think he's one of the best singers in Canada. Excuse me. The point is, I remember him telling me a story how he was going to try out. He got invited to New York City to perform in front of, I think, J Records, and fear set in. And the people that have ever performed to get a record deal, oh my gosh, could you imagine how nervous you'd be, how sweaty your palms would be? So he got to perform in front of the executives at J Records, I believe it was. And as he was walking out or walking into it, guess who walks out of the door? Clive Davis. Clive Davis, the man, the super producer, walks out, and he was just like, and his jaw dropped. He was speechless, couldn't believe it. He was being tested like you wouldn't believe. So the same things with you. Whatever journey you're on, you're going to be tested like you wouldn't believe as you get closer and closer and closer. But the key element is to realize, to reframe your experience from one that is going to debilitate you to one that, man, the harder it's going to be, the more I'm going to grow, the more mental muscle, the more heart muscle, the more spiritual muscle I'm going to develop. And man, this is going to be an exciting journey. You've got to be able to flip the switch, change your attitude, change your focus, and move into your fear, not run away from it. There's a saying that says, it goes something like this. A coward dies 1,000 times, but a courageous man or woman dies but once. You've got to be able to look at your fear and go, all right, I'm making up this fear right now inside my mind, which exists inside my mind. I'm making it up. It's not a clear and present danger. If or when it does happen, whatever I'm fearing does happen, I'll take the gut hit then. But until then, I'm going to continue to live my life precisely, freely, purposely, passionately, authentically, genuinely in the service of others. So let me repeat that. By you playing small, and by the way, if you are playing small, I don't want to beat you down either. But if you believe at some deep level that you were meant to do something bigger with your life, I mean, one of my favorite questions I ask people is, if you knew that you could play life better, should you play life better? And most people, I'd say 99.99% of the people that I ask, I go, yeah, I should be playing life better. If it was available, why not? Because fear tends to dictate people's lives more so than faith or even love, because that's where their primary focus is. And because your brain doesn't perceive you growing into the realms of who you believe you're supposed to be, then your brain automatically goes, uh-oh, I can't predict this, and then it runs away from it. So, I mean, I was even telling Cam the other day, I remember I mentioned you that the metaphor of you on a beach and wanting to swim to an island. Remember I gave that metaphor to you, Cam? Well, the metaphor was, imagine you're on a beach and you saw this island, this beautiful island about 1,000 meters away, but you've never swam 1,000 meters before. And you go, all right, I'm going to try to swim. And you all of a sudden swim 200 meters. And then you're like, oh my gosh, you start to panic. You look back and you go, oh my gosh, I'm 200 meters away from shore. I'm 800 meters away from the island. Oh my God, what if I drown? And then you end up swimming back. And then the next day you go, all right, I'm going to try again. And then you get to 200 meters and then you go back. And every day you're going 200 meters, never going to 201 or 202 or 250, because your brain gets used to a habitual pattern, a neurological pattern, a pathway, and it gets used to it. As soon as it hits a new level of standard, the brain goes, uh-oh. But there's also an excitement behind that because there's new growth, a new possibility, new opportunities there. And so I was even telling Kim, I was coaching Kim, I said, you know what you got to do? Swim out 250 meters, 300 meters, and 400 meters. You don't have to swim the whole 1,000, but just stretch yourself to eventually you reach that halfway point where from the beach to the island, which is your objective in life, whatever that might be, you reach 500 meters. You either have a choice to go another 500 meters to the island or 500 meters back to the shore. That's when breakthroughs happen, because you start to realize all I got to do is swim another 500 meters. It's either 500 meters to my goal to the island or 500 meters back. But you've got to push yourself to that next level to get to that halfway mark. And not most people quit well before then. So I encourage you. I plead to you that if it's something that you want in life, if it's keeping you from, if fear is keeping you from being the best or being just a bit better or preventing you from being the better version of you, then I highly recommend you determine what it is you want. I encourage you to determine why it is you want it. So get a result that you're after, a specific result, why you want it, the purpose of why you want it, and develop an action plan to go there and hang around people that are going to encourage you and lift you up in those moments. And even, Tony Robbins is one of my favorite heroes, because he talked about, peak performance. And one of the greatest ways to literally slam fear and literally take fear and just throw it out there to rocket it to the moon or rocket it to the sun is to change your physiology. How you use your body is going to determine how you feel. When you're fearful, look what's happening to your body. But when you're strong and powerful, look what happens to your chest. Look what happens to your breathing pattern. Look at it, even my face right now. When I look fearful, look how tight my face is. Oh my God, I'm fearful. But when I'm strong, look at my eyes. Look at my chest. Look how I'm flexing my body. Look how I'm breathing. So changing your physiology, changing your focus, right? Changing how you speak to yourself. Those three things, the triad will do wonders for you. So come up with a ritual where you're changing those three things. Yeah. How we do it. Come on.
Okay. So no, that was really good. So simple steps for people to take home. So how to conquer fear.
Yes.
A few easy steps starting tomorrow.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, did you not say one of the biggest steps is to dive into it?
You got it. Okay. So first step number one. So 3 steps. Step number 1, write down what it is you want. And I'm talking stretch it. Like, what is it you want? Like, write a whole page. What do you want? Because most people are focusing on what they fear, not what they want. And because they're focusing on what they fear, they're feeling it in their body, they're feeling it in their imagination. And it's just literally, it's like a cloud of energy, a cloud of destruction and darkness that surrounds their subconscious mind. It surrounds their whole entire world. They see the world through the filter of fear. Focus on what you want and make it exciting. Step number 2, write down why it is you want it. When I do weight loss coaching or seminars, anything like that, I talk about write a specific result that you want, that both scares you and excites you. That's something you really want, a health goal, a weight goal, whatever it might be, running a marathon, whatever it might be, okay? And put a date on it, all that great stuff that you learn in goal setting. But number 2, write down why it is you want it. Why it is that you want to be 100 pounds less? What do you get from being that? And make it moving, like exhilarating. I often tell my clients, listen, if you can't move me emotionally, emotion is the fuel for action. If you can't even move me, how are you going to move yourself? And purpose is the fuel. And when more emotion you put in your purpose, the more fuel and drive you're going to have. And number 3, take one action. Pick one action. That's it. Even if it means I'm going to get up tomorrow morning, or even now, after this podcast, if health is one of your goals, go for a 10-minute walk. Just say, my goal is to work out every day or lose 10 pounds of body fat. And here's the reason why, And then step number 3, come up with an action plan. But you know what? Take one action. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Just go. So if it's like weight loss, commit to either now or tomorrow morning or tonight. Say, I'm going to go for 10 minutes, and that's going to be my action step. And then reward yourself. The one thing I learned about peak performance and conditioning is that you've got to learn to reward yourself when you're doing the right thing, and the timing is the most important. So step number 1, focus on what you want, not what you fear. Write it down. Number 2, write down your purpose. Number 3, out of all your action steps, take one step. It doesn't have to be a giant one. Take one step. What you want, why you want it, action step. Do it now. So live it up with power, purpose, and passion to your continued upgrade and evolution. This is your host, Anthony Cheam, and Cameron on the voice. And listen, let me tell you something. If you want to share this with somebody, share it, subscribe to whatever podcast platform you're on or whatever social media platform you're on, like it, comment, share it. We want to help you. We want to serve you, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our next one of the other 5 elements that prevent people from being the best version of themselves. So thank you for joining us, guys. God bless you.